In the middle of the night, the Russians launched a missile attack on Slovyansk in the Donetsk region. The S-300 missile flew into a residential private sector, completely destroying 3 houses. The bodies of 4 civilians were pulled out from under the rubble. 2 more people were wounded, including a 12-year-old child. Thank God I slept not in the main building, otherwise the windows would have hurt me. Tell us about the victims of the strike. Did you know them a lot? Well, yes. The little guy survived, and one body was thrown under the monument, and the other was right here in the garden. The 3rd missile attack on Zaporizhia was carried out in recent days. Russian troops attacked residential areas yet again. In the last 2 days alone, 16 people were killed in the city and almost 100 were wounded. Today's night shelling of a residential building happened at about 2 in the morning. The missile hit the very center of the city. Rescue work continues at the impact site. It is known about 2 killed and more than 20 wounded civilians. I don't know where the missile came from. All our windows were smashed out. There was a huge explosion, and thank God at that time we have not yet gone into the corridor. We went out into the main corridor, and these doors hit us. Only 10 seconds saved us. Now I'm going to put some new glass and that'll do fine.
It's unreal, it's impossible, it's madness. Yes, I'm also leaving the city today. I don't know how and where to live. It is very scary, but life is still more important to us.
In Lviv, after the Russian missile strikes, 90% of the city was left without electricity. The movement of trolleybuses and trams has been stopped. Traffic lights went off. Traffic on the roads was regulated by police officers. Also, there is no hot water supply and mobile communication interruption happens in the city. As a result of the shelling in the Kharkiv region, critical infrastructure was also damaged. In the regional center, public transport was redirected along new, safer roads.
Critical
infrastructure has been damaged. We know what to do, we work on the ground. We will do everything promptly to restore the power supply. In addition, we may face the fact that there will be no water supply and provision of other critical utilities for some time. However, believe me, we know what to do. We have been working in such conditions for 6 months. And now, with our communal services, we will do everything possible to update the provision of services for the population as quickly as possible. Today the enemy is testing us for the fortress with a special fierceness. We stopped the subway. You can use it around the clock as a shelter. Now, due to the lack of electricity, trams and trolleybuses do not run. But we have changed the operation of buses in such a way that you can get anywhere in Kharkiv now. In Mykolaiv, Russian troops fired 10 S-300 missiles at the city. Several of them hit the Mykolaiv Admiral Makarov National University of Shipbuilding. Not a single surviving window was left there. The walls were also damaged. Fortunately, there were no casualties. This is already the 2nd attack. The first shelling was on July the 15th. Then there was an arrival of 5 missiles. 2 on the territory, 3 in the building. This time, 1 missile. Everything works the normal way. The university works. Everything is fine. Classes are not held here. All classes are online. Nobody went offline. Also, private houses and warehouses in one of the residential areas were damaged tonight. Our house trembled hard. It was a rough strike. The head of the Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration, Vitaly Kim, said that Russian planes and Shahid kamikaze drones flew in the direction of the city. Air defense shot down another Russian Mujahid drone over the Black Sea. There were no hits in the area. Vitaly Kim also warned about a possible blackout. According to him, Russian troops are trying to disable critical infrastructure in the Mykolaiv region. Some areas no longer have electricity. Emergency crews are working on the site. The ships go out to the Black Sea. They have reloaded the Caliber cruise missiles, and these groups are getting ready to take off from Astrakhan. Hypothetically, there can be more strikes, so watch out for air alarms. Don't neglect your safety. The second thing I ask, particularly for the Mykolaiv region, We need to limit electricity consumption during rush hour. We have no strikes, thank God, on critical infrastructure, but we have to help the other regions. We have a unified system. So I ask everyone to limit electricity consumption in the evening hours. Residents are urged to comply with air rate requirements and do not leave shelters without need. Reported by Олена Грамова, Дарина Литовченко, Борис Яковенко, Андрій Домовий, Павло Штельмах, UATV News.